Today I'm gonna show you how to make my spicy peanut pork noodles recipe. It is the ultimate weeknight dinner and it's ready in under 30 minutes. Hi there, I'm Nikki Sizemore. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome back to my channel. There are few dinners that I crave more than these spicy peanut pork noodles. They're so comforting, but they're vibrant and bright and spicy. Although that being said, you can make these noodles as spicy or as mild as you like. So if you're feeding kids or if you don't like a lot of spice, you can totally adjust it to your own taste. My kids love this meal and we're gonna throw in a whole mess of spinach to make it a complete dinner. I'm also going to share some meal prep tips if you want to get a jump start on the recipe ahead of time. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my wholesome, family-friendly, and gluten-free recipes. Now I've got some water boiling, so I'm gonna start by cooking off my rice noodles. These are fettuccine style rice noodles. Sometimes they're called pad thai style rice noodles, and they only take a few minutes to cook. Whenever you're cooking noodles, you wanna make sure to give them a stir once they hit the boiling water. This is gonna help prevent them from sticking. And I'm gonna set my timer for those so that I don't forget. The noodles only take 4 to 5 minutes to cook, but I'm gonna jump into this sauce while they cook. We're making a really, really flavorful peanut sauce. It's so good, and you can make this ahead. You can make this a few days ahead if you wanna get some meal prep done on the weekend, and if you do that, then it's like the recipe is ready in like 15 minutes. So I've got a ½ cup of all-natural peanut butter. All right, so we've got some tamari, gluten-free tamari, or you could use soy sauce. I'm going for a low sodium. And we need a ½ cup of that. And then we need 3 tablespoons of maple syrup or honey. This is gonna add that little bit of sweetness to counteract the saltiness of the noodles. You could also use brown sugar if that's what you have. We're gonna do a teaspoon of sriracha or any chili sauce you like. Sometimes I do a chili crisp, like the oil from the chili crisp. Feel free to add a lot more if you like it spicy. A teaspoon of grated ginger. Now for the secret ingredient, I have some Chinese 5-spice powder. It's one of my favorite spice blends. It's got fennel and cloves and peppercorns and star anise and cinnamon. Did I get them all? I might have got them all. You only need a ½ teaspoon, but it really adds so much depth to this sauce. And last but not least, we need 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. Juice that in. And the lime juice is really gonna wake up the noodles and make them really bright. Add some salt. But you know what? I'm gonna go check on those rice noodles. So you don't want to overcook the rice noodles. Err on the side of undercooking them slightly because they're gonna cook further in the sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and drain them. All right. Okay, the sauce is done. The sauce is really packed with flavor. If you taste it now, it might taste too strong, but it's designed to do that. We're gonna thin it out with some chicken broth when we toss it with the noodles and the pork. Speaking of pork, I'm gonna grab it from the fridge and we'll head back to the stove. Heating up a large skillet and add about a tablespoon of neutral vegetable oil. And then I have a pound of ground pork. You could use ground turkey if that's what you prefer. And we're gonna get this started and just break up the meat with a wooden spoon. Also gonna season it at this point with some salt and pepper so it really starts to flavor the meat. Once you get the meat mostly broken up, just spread it out in an even layer and just let it cook without stirring it too much until it is nice and golden brown and crisp on the bottom. All right, the meat is starting to get nice and browned. At this point, I'm gonna scrape it to one side of the skillet and drain off all the fat. Tilt the skillet like that, let the fat fall to the bottom, and then spoon it out. Let's give it one more stir. And now we're gonna add some baby spinach. Here's a little tip. We're gonna need 5 ounces of baby spinach, which is one of these containers. If you wanna make your greens last longer, when you get home from the grocery store, pop open the container and just place a folded paper towel on top. That's going to absorb excess liquid and it's gonna make your salad greens last a lot longer. We're gonna throw this whole thing in here. At this point, you could also add chopped garlic if you like. There's some nights where I just can't even be bothered to chop the garlic, and I hear you, in which case you can omit it, still tastes delicious. So we're just gonna cook this until the spinach is wilted. It's always so amazing how this looks like so much spinach and then it wilts down to nothing. Now that the spinach is wilted, we're going to add our sauce and 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Just give this a quick stir just to mix everything together. Once that looks like it's all incorporated, and by the way, you wanna be scraping up the bottom of the skillet here. If there's any of those brown bits on the bottom of the skillet, they're like flavor bombs. So you wanna make sure to incorporate them. And then we have our noodles, and we're just gonna toss these in. They're kind of congealed, but don't worry. We'll be able to spread them out once they start cooking in the sauce. Once the noodles look happily bathed in the sauce, turn off the heat, and then we're gonna finish this with some fresh scallions, and that's gonna lend that pop of brightness. Now for the best part, we're gonna serve it up. You do wanna give it a taste for more salt and pepper. This is the kind of meal I wanna eat all by myself, in my pajamas, on the couch, with a good movie. It's my idea of takeout. We're gonna top it off with, I like to do some peanuts for crunch on top, some more sriracha, I almost forgot. And then some more of those fresh scallions, and that's gonna lend some freshness. You could also do some cilantro, maybe a little spritz of lime. My ultimate comfort food. All right, let's give it a taste. Oh, sorry guys, I just wanna go snuggle on the couch. This is my happy place. These pork noodles, they're spicy, they're creamy, they're hot. That pork is all caramelized, and then you get the crunch from the peanuts and the brightness from the scallions. All right, I'm gonna check out because I just wanna dive into this, but thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think about this recipe in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Nikki Sizemore, and I will see you next time.